No, I've called this one transfer between tables. It's not entirely a correct name, and I'm not quite sure what to call this. Very often, I'll have a spreadsheet where I'll make a table of data, and as you know, it's technically not a table, but you get what I mean, a grid of data like that. Um, and what will happen is so, for example, someone may have a job that if a job progresses to a certain point or reaches a certain criteria or falls into a certain category, then they want to actually transfer that over to another tab on the spreadsheet where they then continue with that process. And then they may have two or three tabs, so the jobs might get split up into different groups, or you may just have a case where they don't want to put all the information on one tab. They want to be able to split it up over two or three different tabs, which then collect different information about a particular job. But then later on in the spreadsheet, they might actually then want the spreadsheet to be able to look across all three of those tabs and identify all the different jobs and what's happened on all the different tabs for that. Now, there could be many applications for this type of thing, but I want to just show you the concept behind how it transfers that data, because the main reason I do it like this is because it can't be an automatic transfer. So, for example, job project D, ID number D may be in row 14 here. On the next page, it might be in row 11. But then if I resort this, it might be in row 13 on the next page. So if it automatically transfers across, then you're going to be adding stuff on to the right-hand side of that particular project. Then you're going to resort it here. And then you're going to have a problem because as soon as you resort it, it's going to change the order on the second page, but it's going to keep the information that you've added onto it in the same place, which means your data is going to be out of sync. So how do we overcome that? What I do is I do a kind of a partly automated process, but also partly manual. So when we click on the second tab, we can see here already that there'll be a column saying usually new, but it'll be some kind of indication. And you can see those have all gone green. Now I'll usually put more alerts at the top on your spreadsheet, but they're not necessary here because it's such a small and we can see all the data. And also these cells here, on yours are more than likely these would turn yellow to say that there's something needs to go into those cells. Now in this case, I want to add the ID in wherever there's a green indication in the new row. So I can either click each one and go A. Now you can see it goes gray. The next one is B. The next one is C. The next one is D. But that's if there's one or two, you can click it. It'll tell you what to do and you can do it. However, if there's a whole bunch and there's a quicker way, just select all the green ones. Those are all new rows that need to be added to the second list. Copy and paste values. And then you can add more data into here, whatever the case might be. You can add some more stuff onto there, which then goes to the project. Now, if you sort this from Z to A, it sorts that data and it keeps column I with a £3, for example. Now, sort A to Z, column I with a £3. So it keeps it in order in the second sheet. This order doesn't necessarily have to match up with that order. So you've got two independent ones, but there's an ID, which we call a unique identifier on both of the two different lists that then tell you. So when I'm doing a recon later on for job A, you can check this list and you can check that list for job A, and it could put all the information together in a handy report. Now it's up to date. Then what happens is you come in later on and you add on job J and you put in some information on whatever the case might be for job J. And then when you go here, you can go, oh, there's one more. What is that? It's job J, and you can continue. Now, these alerts might show up on a dashboard as well. If you've got a dashboard to tell you that there's stuff that hasn't been transferred, I'll put in all those kind of things to your spreadsheet to alert you that there are new ones to add across. But that manual selection process means that we can have two completely independent. I can sort the Z to A, so it's in a different order. It doesn't affect this one. The formulas behind the scenes tell it what to bring over, but that one little manual step means that you've now got two completely independent tables. You can filter, you can sort, you can do all sorts of stuff, and it never loses sync, and it always will match up to two. Now, I don't know what application you may or may not have that's going to use that, but if you do have an application and I talk about actually transferring transferring between tables, this is what I'm talking about. And hopefully that video makes sense in the context of your spreadsheet. Thank you.